Keith Shillan, Sherdog.com. I'm here with Robson Gracie Jr., who fights this Friday against Billy Goff at the Mohegan Sun Resort Casino for Bellator 241. Robson, how you doing, man?
I think good.
Robson, let's get right here. You're going against Billy Goff. What do you know about this guy?
Young kid. I watched a couple fights of him. Good cardio. Nice striking, but let's do it. Let's go. My game's not gonna change.
Obviously, you're known for your jiu-jitsu. You've submitted all your opponents. How important is it to show the other skills that you've been working on? Your stand-up, your Muay Thai, your wrestling.
Yes. The thing is, every fight is gonna get harder and harder. The Bellator gives me an opportunity to fight against strikers, but I know sooner or later it's gonna be hard to take the guys down. But I have been working a lot on my striking. Of course, I want to try to avoid do my game plan. But of course, I'm ready for the understanding end.
Do you have a prediction for the fight? Do you expect submission like the rest?
I hope submission, but I'm ready for the 3 rounds.
So
whatever it takes.
You talked about, you said every fight's going to get harder. You're kind of taking a slow roll, starting from the prelims. Eventually, one day, I'm sure you want to be headlining a card. How far away do you think you are to facing the guys like a Lorenz Larkin, like a Paul Day, like the big names in the division? How far away?
I hope 5 more fights. I need that step by step, little by little, at least 4 fights, and I think I'm going to be ready for those guys. Let's see. Every fight I do, I'm feeling better and better, but for those guys, let's do step by step, like the way I'm doing. So no rush. I'm not.
You fight at the welterweight division, which is, in my opinion, possibly the most stacked division, both in Bellator and worldwide. That said, in Bellator, it's in a weird transition because right now the champion, Douglas Lima, he's going to go up. He's going to challenge. He's not going to challenge. He's going to fight for the vacant title against Gegard Mousasi. Might put the division into this kind of flux where who knows what's going on. How do you feel about the champion moving up and trying to get a second title? What's your thoughts about that?
That's great. He's a really tough fighter. I admire him a lot. He's a great guy. I'm his fan because he's a great fighter and he's a family guy. He's a example of what a fighter should be.
Fellow Brazilian?
Brazilian also, yeah.
You can say it.
Like Brazilian also. I almost forget it. But that's great. That shows the division is rough. So if you are there, you really deserve it to be there. If you get the belt, you really deserve. It's not like people say it's just a belt. People just think about UFC and stuff. But no, Bellator is growing up, and the champions here are ready to take over.
Obviously, when you say your name, Robson Gracie, as soon as you came in, the last name Gracie, I mean, it is the family that started jiu-jitsu. I mean, they literally created jiu-jitsu. Your father is a legendary fighter, a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Your brother's legendary. That said, how hard is it for you to pick your cornerman, considering you could have 20, 30 different family members who are qualified, but you only get a few? How do you pick them? How do you pick who corners you?
It's hard. That's the hardest part, man. Because I just decided now, just to let you know. Yesterday I was thinking about to come by myself, and not just that, because I have my instructors, they're not Gracie, but also my instructors, so was hard. That's the hardest part.
The early days in the sport, one of the most famous things that Gracie did was the Gracie train. Now, with the ramp and the cornerman not working out, do you feel disappointed that you don't get to do the Gracie train?
A little bit. I hope they give one day they
make an exception. Yeah, well, stop talking. So maybe we can have
put the hoodies, all the same jacket.
Yeah.
I wanna. That was a dream. I remember watching when I was a really little kid. Watching that was like one day I wanna be in there.
Do you? Like I said, you have so many family members. Your father, your brothers, cousins, uncles. God, everybody. I mean, your sisters can beat people up. Is there one of your family members that you like to watch the most and kind of study their game and adapt it to you?
Different. All of them a little bit, but I like the mentality of the Grace family. Like Renzo, for me, his mentality helps me a lot because he's not worried about who's gonna fight. He's not worried against who. He's just ready. So this motivates me a lot. Of course, Neyman is one of the guys that motivated me. He helps me to grow up a lot, my generation. But all the guys a little bit, but doesn't have one favorite one.
Of course, we have so many generations going back to Carlos and Helio, down to the next generation with Henzo and Hickson and Hoyce, and now the third generation with you and Neiman and all these other guys. How important is it for you to basically have your own legacy, so it's not known so much the Gracie family, but actually known Robson?
That's a hard question, because sometimes I think life's too short to just do fighting, you know? You have a worldwide all around, you can do whatever you want, and you decide to be a fighter just because you have the Grace name. Sometimes I think giving up and moving to Asia, living there. But I just want to let my father proud. Okay, fight enough, say, look, I did it. I follow your steps, and that's what makes me happy. It's not be the champion, it's not be the, just, and I already got it. And now it's just extra. For me now, whatever it comes, I'm happy. I'm already happy.
Yeah, I'm sure you're making all the family proud. Good luck to you this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.